When you think of minigames nowadays, you surely think of games like Roblox, maybe even Fortnite. What can be easily forgotten is the fact that once, aside from Garry's Mod, there was another flagship leading the most creative, addicting and, in my opinion, best minigames of all time.
Welcome guys to another episode of Bedwars. As you guys
Yo, what's going on everyone? It's GamerBoy here with ThirtyVirus.
welcome guys to another episode of Skywars. So
We're playing Smash, everyone! Smash! A game we haven't played in a
Today
while.
I was joining you to play the Minecraft game with Annihilation.
What's up guys? We're back in Minecraft and I'm playing Wasted.
Over the years, it became evident that Minecraft minigames, at least on Java, were slowly but surely becoming less and less popular. The COVID-19 pandemic helped alleviate this to a good extent, but nowadays things are once again looking bleak. While servers like Hypixel still have a respectable number of players, other servers like Shotbow rarely peak higher than 70 players anymore. While the minigames on servers like Hypixel, Minehart or even the newly reopened Mineplex are some of the most iconic modes, they only have a limited selection. Many modes, even popular ones, have either vanished entirely, like Lava Survival, Dwarfs vs Zombies, Wasted, Cops and Runners, and other modes like Smash still exist, but literally have 0 players online most of the time. My key focus will be on one minigame that managed to survive all those years, but barely hangs on to 20 to 40 players on average. I want to show you how it works, what made it so fun to me, and how players that play to this day still feel about the state of the minigame. Annihilation. In every round there are 4 teams, situated around the corner of every map. 120 players in total can be part of every round, and trust me, back then every round was pretty much packed out. With every team came a nexus, situated in the underground of the base and made out of endstone. By breaking the endstone of an enemy team once, you would remove 1 hit point of their team health. If you manage to break the nexus by doing this 75 times, the nexusless team will stop respawning after the death and can be called out, just like after destroying a bed in Bedwars. Obviously, with around 30 players in every team, some would dedicate most of the round to defending the nexus. So even with an invisibility potion, you would usually get caught quite quickly. There are 5 phases, each lasting 10 minutes. During phase 1 the nexus is immune to damage. In phase 2 the nexus loses this immunity, and in phase 3 diamonds begin spawning in the middle of the map. During phase 4 you can beat bosses to earn special rewards, and in phase 5 the damage dealt to the nexus is doubled. Lastly, there are many different classes granting you multiple advantages. The game really allowed a plethora of different strategies. 12-year-old me, however, could not care less about playing strategically. My tactic was pretty simple. Dig down at the edge of the map and close the hole up. Basically have my thinky pinger be glued to the shift button on my keyboard and me just digging a tunnel as far as I could to repeatedly get near the enemy base unbothered and to just rush in for chip damage at their nexus. Was this optimal? No. Did I still do it every game? Yes. Was this fun? You bet. So when me and my girlfriend logged onto the server, I was pretty excited. The bad news was that I could tell it was far from its peak back in the day, barely managing to have 40 players per round on a good day. We did not play Annihilation on this day, but I swore to return and see if this game mode still has the potential to return to its peak back in the day. 40 players were on Annihilation again. I chose my class, picked a team and voted for a map. Inside of my first match I immediately noticed just how out of it I really was when my teammates all started gathering resources and I just stood there confused like a deer looking into headlights on a road. I got into making equipment when suddenly this happened. I was completely surprised and caught off guard. I wasted like 5 minutes on equipping up for nothing. Frustrated, I decided to take it out on the other players, and then it dawned on me. The last time I actively played this mode was over 10 years ago, and the people playing on there now most likely had countless of recent hours put into it, making it apparent that I was hopelessly outmatched. I managed to win a 1v1 and it felt really good. Then another thing popped into my mind. Remember how I told you that I used to tunnel my way to the enemy base all the time? Well, I decided if I cannot beat them, I can be a slivery rat chipping away at the endstone looking block of cheese. I was immediately caught, but the next time I came back the flank was wide open for me to rush in. I took some bites out of the Nexus, but was caught relatively quickly. Oh yeah, also while I was tunneling, our entire Nexus was destroyed itself, so I just died. Granted, I joined the round while it was running, and the same went for the next game. Sadly, I was caught and destroyed yet again, and again, and again. After Blue got destroyed by other teams, the only way I was able to kill someone was by them being AFK. Eventually, our base got attacked itself and we stood valiantly. We outnumbered them by quite a lot. Somehow, we did not manage to kill this singular person once. We looked like a swarm of bees and yet never managed to kill them. Eventually, when their mate joined in, all hope was ultimately lost and we got killed. Next round I immediately went back to tunneling and I got really far into their base. This match only had 2 teams. I ran to the top instead of the bottom of the Nexus tower in panic and... my brain immediately made the assumption that the enchantment table must serve as the Nexus and that the game was bugged. I eventually got killed and returned, but yet again my brain failed to recognize this absurd blunder. I'm not very proud of this section. Eventually I realized this will not work and I just go kill some people and die myself. On my 3rd attempt I finally realized my stupid mistake, but this time I'm caught almost immediately and die. On my 4th attempt it actually looked like I might make it, but I made a mistake that alerted all of China to my presence. I ran back and I was not paying attention to enemy name tags as much as I should have. So this made this player here recognize something was up and they killed me. Remember the name, as they became my arch nemesis during this round. When I tried using the secret tunnel, they killed me once, then killed me once more. On the 3rd try, however, I got lucky. This actually would play in my favor. When I got back to the enemy tower, I created another tunnel so I could slip in more easily. I managed to sneak in unseen and actually attack the Nexus 6 times, which, with 75 HP, is not a lot, but it seemed like a start. I thought I finally had the right strategy and tried again, but someone was waiting. The next time, I figured they would have stopped camping that spot by now. I was wrong. For my last attempt I had to leave soon, so I tried one last push. I saw the name tag of my arch nemesis down below, but I thought maybe I could sneak past them. To my delight, it appeared they were AFK. This is my chance. Except, apparently, I was not as sneaky as I thought and I got killed by someone else. Bummers. My fingers were itching for more rounds, but I noticed that this video would devolve from the topic of minigames dying to me just glazing and playing Annihilation for the entirety of the duration. So I decided to finally shoot some DMs to active players in their community to ask them the following questions. When did you start playing Annihilation for the first time? Do you believe Annihilation has gotten worse or better over the years? And how does the dwindling player count play into that opinion? What are your wishes for the future of Annihilation, Shotbow, and maybe Minecraft Minigames as a whole? Do you think we will ever come close to the golden era of Minecraft Minigames someday again? Of course, feel free to express your opinion in the comments as well, but the first response I got was really interesting. They started playing Annihilation for the first time when the beta was first launched, so around 2012. They mostly played other games on the Shotbow network, but returned to Annihilation in 2022. What they noted was that the average player got better at playing, which they believe actually makes the rounds more interesting, especially regarding competitive games. But as for public rounds, they attribute a quality drop mainly to the dwindling number of players and a lack of gameplay updates. To me, it appears that stagnation could maybe be a fitting term to describe these phenomena. They believe that more consistent updates that are marketed properly via social media could generate some buzz that could revitalize the player count. Overall, they do not believe that a golden age of Minecraft minigames is possible again, but they believe that if a Minecraft minigame manages to have a community that sticks around after all those years, then it has the opportunity to keep its heartbeat going. I really like that perspective, and in my opinion it highlights how much Annihilation still has after all these years. Player I hope I pronounced this right, Rami Swebdi, told me they started playing in 2013 and being hooked almost instantly. They wrote that the feeling Annihilation gave them was completely different from all other Minecraft minigames at the time, as it was not just PvP for the sake of PvP. The 4 teams, the nexus, the phases, the mining, defending the base, rushing in, choosing a class, having clans and employing actual strategies made the game so worthwhile to them. To quote them directly, "I used to grind it constantly, especially during that early Shotbow era when servers felt packed and every match felt like it mattered. Every round had its own story." Furthermore, they believe that while technical improvements happened over the years, emotionally they feel more disconnected as the dwindling player count changes the entire atmosphere. They respect the devs for working on the game, but Annihilation to them was built around chaos, full teams, rivalries, clans, and that feeling that the whole server was alive. This just does not happen, no matter how well designed the game is when the players are just lacking. They do not think Annihilation became bad, it's still special, but the decline took away from the magic. Their biggest wish is that Shotbow starts treating Annihilation like a game with real potential, instead of just an old legacy mode. They believe as Minecraft is still massive, it is frustrating seeing classic servers feeling disquiet when the player base clearly still exists to some capacity. They want to see more marketing, easier onboarding for new players, better events, creator outreach, seasonal tournaments, for example, and much more. They believe a lot more can be done. They do not know if we will ever recreate this golden era of Minecraft minigames, as they believe a key part of it was the timing. YouTube was just different, the players have aged a lot, and big servers lost their mysterious appeal. But they do believe if servers adapt, the golden era might not return, but the feeling could. Active communities, packed games, rivalries, events, content creators, and servers that feel alive. Closing off, they told me that they think Annihilation has the bones of a legendary minigame, and it just needs a revival push, not only maintenance. This is the reason I talked about Annihilation so extensively. I truly believe it perfectly captured lightning in a bottle, and I wanted to show you all just how much fun I had by coming back to it and not even playing strategically at all. For those few hours I played Annihilation again, I felt like a 13-year-old me again, but I was still longing for those massive rounds of days gone by. Those two responses were really helpful, I find, in illustrating what players that still love a game mode think when they see it becoming less and less popular. Lava Survival. I wanted to see if a server still existed that has a minigame that consists of surviving ever-increasing levels of lava, rising higher and higher. Lava Flood. All I found was this Reddit thread from 9 years ago of people reminiscing of how cool this mode was. That was 2017 already. I found one server created in August 2025 that had been dead for 3 months, so apparently you can play a form of lava survival, although it is PvP, so not really what I was looking for exactly. But I wanted to give it a try, and it's just for Bedrock. Oh well. Another one, and it appears to even still be online. Yeah, there are no players on right now, so I checked it out and it certainly looked interesting. I do not remember the old Lava Survivor servers being focused on PvP though. With a lot of players on, I'm sure this could be fun, but alas, it seems the classic Lava Survival type of minigame is dead, and perhaps it's not a bad thing. I find, because when you think about it, this really is a simple game mode that was built on the classic concept of just, don't step into the lava kind of, or cushion yourself against the lava. So it wasn't really complex, and to be honest, it was one of the most early minigames for a reason, because it was the easiest to program, I'd say, compared to more complex minigames that appeared later on. So perhaps it is fitting that this minigame died, because the increasing complexity of Minecraft just facilitates more engaging minigames to catch your attention, because I think at this point our expectations are just going higher and higher, and I think if a classic lava survival server even existed, there would be no appeal. So perhaps this is one such case where a minigame dying is just the natural conclusion of time. Wasted. This mode was something I immediately hopped onto after coming home from school for a very long time. You had 7 classes to choose from, like medic or engineer, and the game mode was persistent, meaning you kept your items between sessions if you safely logged out. But it also meant that you could lose all of your items after being killed and looted by someone else. You had a map to navigate around the world on a separate website, and you traveled across the landscape, usually via car. Yes, this is what the cars looked like, and we did not care. It was awesome. You could contest objectives or just go around killing people or being picked off by someone unexpectedly yourself. In City 17, there would sometimes be huge fights. Singularity grenades would be thrown and entire buildings almost leveled. The feeling was so unique and I miss it deeply. Sadly, it broke after 1.9 came out and it never got to be revived. So I don't have anything to show you here except footage I found online, but I also believe this is one of the modes that really didn't deserve to die. I think it would still hold up, and it's kind of sad that we didn't let players, like decide, okay, we're going to phase out and stop playing this. No, the players were there, the people wanted this mode, but sadly it just broke. So definitely another aspect of dying minigames. Sometimes modes just can't be kept up after an update, and usually people do this for free or not for a lot of money, so when they have to work, where's the incentive to repair something like this? Smash. I stumbled upon this comment when checking out the news trailer of the Mineplex reopening, and apparently Smash was also a mode on there, so perhaps this mode will actually have a comeback now. I'm actually super stoked. I even tried it out with my girlfriend, and yeah, I remember playing this before actually, and it's certainly different from the Smash from Shotbow, but it's certainly Smash, and that's something, I think. I think maybe this will rekindle the flame, not just on Mineplex. Maybe people will come back to Shotbow to play it again. At least I would love to see this. But I finally managed to get some footage of Smash with my girlfriend. The elo starting at 1,000 and the top 3 players not even being around 1,100 signifies the state of this game, I think. It's dead. I genuinely tried to play in random lobbies multiple times over various days, but it was at 0 players every single time I checked. When we got into the game, I honestly could not fathom just how much it plays like back then. I thought maybe the game just went downhill over time due to bad updates, but I still think this mode is extremely solid, so why does it have 0 players? Truth is, I already found a thread from 2014 where they talk about Shotbow as a network just dying, and I cannot tell if they were just doomers or if this truly has nothing to do with the downfall of Minecraft Minigames. I just find it very confusing. Both Smash and Annihilation have all the markings of a minigame that should be popular in theory, yet fall flat in practice. Shotbow apparently had 15,000 players online at the same time on various occasions, and I find it improbable that the downfall was solely caused by mismanagement. I cannot prove it, but I think it's just a consequence of minigames dropping in popularity in general during the second half of the 2010s, and servers like Hypixel just appear to be the outlier maybe. Miscellaneous Minigames. Another notable minigame that seems to have vanished are prison escape servers. No, those grindfests here. I mean an actual mode where some players were guards, some were inmates, and these inmates had to escape. Just like Lava Survival, however, this is pretty much dead unless you recreate it with your friends on a private server. During my research, I also found some other game modes that seem to have vanished into obscurity, like Dwarfs vs Zombies, where apparently Dwarfs had different classes to defend their nexus against zombies, with dying against the zombies turning you into one until all dwarfs are pretty much dead or the nexus is destroyed. Seems like a lot of fun, and this is what makes me so sad, because if minigames were still thriving, I could give this mode a try, but of course I do not have the possibility now. And lastly, as I was finishing up this video, I found an interesting comment below another video talking about minigames in Minecraft dying with a different perspective. Lego Bro here mentioned that minigame maps are also dying, and I did not even think about that for 1 second. The memories started flooding back in immediately. The dropper maps and all other shenanigans enabled by command blocks instantly sprang to my mind. All those adventure maps. It's true. Back in the day, maps were way more commonly played. Eventually, it seems people stopped playing them altogether. I checked out the channel of Lego Bro to see what they have posted, and they have a really cute trailer for A Fox's Life 2. It seems like a lot of effort was put into it, so maybe one day I will convince my girlfriend to give it a try with me. Check it out for yourself in the description, I guess. I would also laugh if we saw more of those experiences. There are probably countless hidden gems out there not gaining the attention they deserve that they maybe would if minigames were more popular right now. All in all, it's pretty apparent that I was blinded by nostalgia in some aspects, for example lava survival. I missed it so dearly, but I realized myself there's no reason for it to pretty much exist with this game state. But still, I can't help but feel sad when reminiscing about the heyday of Minecraft minigames, and it still poses a question: does it have to be this way? Can't we go back to how things used to be? The truth is that it's easy to want things to go back, but most creators of these experiences and servers were probably teenagers at the time, having countless of hours to spend on developing the modes we loved after school. Most of them by now probably have a job, other hobbies, and maybe even partners and kids. It was also expensive to run these servers without an income, so I understand completely why so many modes disappeared when interest and subsequently donations ceased to flow in. To answer the main question of this video though, no, Minecraft minigames are not dead, but they definitely are way past their golden age. Servers like Hypixel Minehut remain stable, and Mineplex had a huge comeback now. We couldn't even get on a server because there were so many people trying to get on there to test it out, to relive their childhood, but it's also become apparent that many smaller servers and thus minigames have vanished into obscurity. And Minecraft is not that either. It seems that maybe the focus just has shifted from minigames towards all those SMP projects many big Minecraft YouTubers focus on, and eventually it could loop back to minigames being the hot thing going on in Minecraft again. This is why I made this video. Maybe it can be the spark to have us talk about minigames again that could eventually, down the road, lead to a sort of renaissance. I would love to see that. A couple people seeing this could be enough to cascade into a bigger debate, so either way, this video was highly subjective. I had a huge focus on Annihilation because I felt it's the minigame that conveys my feelings and thoughts on this topic the most. Many people have never even played one of these modes I've shown here, and yet miss countless other modes that I have never heard of in my life, like Dwarfs vs Zombies before this video, so please share your experiences of playing long-lost minigames in the comment section below. I would love to hear your stories, and I'm grateful for you two listening to mine. Hey CK out.